My girlfriend told me that her ex was the best person she had ever known. I overheard my 3-year girlfriend telling her friends how much better her ex was. She got completely inebriated and had a group FaceTime with all of her girlfriends. She was at her workstation, approximately 5 feet from our bed, using her laptop. She believed that I had fallen asleep. She said this with me standing only 5 feet away, even if I was. After sharing a sleep, I believed I had given her an orgasm. When she was finished, I closed my eyes. After 3 hours, I awoke to her laughing. She seemed to be inebriated. No, I wasn't. I made an effort not to simply turn back in. I heard her and her girlfriends discussing sex before I could. There were times when she pretended to be interested in me and let me have my sex. I felt wounded. Subsequently, they began discussing their most satisfying sex encounters. She claimed that the strongest orgasm she had ever had was from her ex. She added that when she would orgasm, she wouldn't be able to control her legs at all. It seemed like his penis was large enough to fill her up completely and hit her tender regions. Seems to be 3 inches longer than myself. He effed her more than any man had, and she expressed how much she missed being able to climax like that. By then, I was on the verge of tears. I tried not to cry so she wouldn't hear me as I sat there for another. After a while, she hung up. She asked me whether I was awake when she got back in bed and discovered that I was. I told her that I had just woken up feeling the bed move. She went on to say that she would see me in the morning and that she loved me. I was awake that night, which was around 2. For the past 3 days, I haven't been able to eat, sleep, or do anything else. I have no idea what to do. Even after 3 years of experience, I still can't match raw talent in the bedroom, despite my best efforts to be a better partner for her. Never before have I felt like a lesser man. I feel self-centered now for even deciding to stay with her when it's clear that she doesn't like me. When she discovered that he had cheated on her, he dumped her. Had she stayed with him, yes. I feel insignificant in comparison to his recollection. I can't even bear the idea of attempting to make her feel good, so we haven't had sex in the last 3 days. Right now, I'm at a loss on what to do. I've been considering popping the question to her because I adore her so much, but I'm not sure if I can do it anymore. Talking about your personal life is a warning sign, but being disrespectful and embarrassing to you is a whole other story. It would be over if my partner stated something along these lines. You would struggle with confidence and self-worth. If she was caught cheating with her ex, which she might be, you would be concerned. She'll claim it wasn't her intention. Never accept that nonsense explanation. Give her to her ex. After the 8th day, when I never asked her out and instead rejected her whenever she did, let's see how things have changed. She asked me why I didn't want her anymore and was on the verge of tears. I told her I haven't been in the mood to talk about this since I wasn't quite ready to do so yet. She questioned my sincerity and wondered what she was doing incorrectly. She insisted on knowing why when I told her I needed some alone time. I gave in and showed her the post at last. I stepped out of our bedroom and let her read it by herself. She sobbed as she came out of the bedroom and attempted to cling to me after 20 minutes. She cried even more after I shoved her away from me. I gave her space to cool down until she was able to talk clearly. She informed me that all of those things I said were exaggerated and that she didn't think I was awake at the time. First of all, she expressed her enjoyment of our relationship and added that although she didn't feel pressure to pretend too much, she occasionally had to do so with her former partner. She went on to explain that he wasn't as big as she had said. She stated that the ex was just 1.5 inches taller than me and that she could never have had sex with someone so big, and she was prepared to provide evidence to support her allegation. I told her I didn't think she was telling the truth because I no longer had any reason to think she would. She stopped talking. After that, I told her how amazed I was that she would tell her friends how much worse I am than her ex. She was crying and remained mute. I expressed my pain to her, telling her that it hurt even to think that I could attempt to be better for her. I told her that I felt so mistreated and unwanted right now, and that I wasn't sure I still wanted to ask her out. Again, she expressed regret for everything. She acknowledged that I couldn't unhear what I heard, but I had to believe her on this. She added that being intoxicated wasn't an excuse for what she did, and it wouldn't make up for the hurt she caused me. I promised to pay attention to her. At least she admitted once more that she didn't really fake it with me and that she merely told one of her girlfriends that her ex's penis was smaller than mine. She claimed she never wanted to criticize our sex because she was too scared to offend me. She replied she never really judged her ex, so I wondered why she was more concerned about the quality of their relationship. He didn't know what he was doing, she claimed, he just pressed her buttons just right to give her strong orgasms. She said that she wasn't even close to guiding him, didn't know what he was doing, and couldn't even recreate the feelings she got from masturbating. She believed we could sort it out if I was willing to try things with her. I asked her one last question: did she miss her ex? She claimed that because she felt a stronger emotional bond with me than with him, having sex with me was not only more pleasurable but also better. When I questioned her about why she felt the need to reclaim him, she explained that she was a foolish young woman who gave herself away to people who didn't deserve her out of fear of being by herself. She claimed to have found a gorgeous man who loved her and didn't care about her feelings for me. I continue to be really injured as of right now. Although I was able to trust her more after talking to her, it will still take some time. I informed her that even though I would need some time, I still wanted to attempt to resolve things since I loved her. She claimed that she had been lying and making up stories about her ex, the same ex who had dumped her and treated her like shit, to her pals. Someone you care about, why not exaggerate and make you appear good? She is lying. She is aware of her words. You were degraded by her and turned into a joke for her pals. I wish you success in taking on her buddies. That will not be nice. Finally, here's the update. I've been thinking a lot over the past 2 weeks. There is nothing worse in my relationship. It feels better, actually. She has been more vocal about what she needs. She will tell me the rare times she doubts her ability to finish. She fully discloses to me. She considers me to be her best companion ever. She seems to adore me above all else. However, I feel as though my feelings for her have changed. Everything feels really pleasant and wonderful, but hollow. I don't usually notice other women, but right now I do. I know that. Flirting with attractive ladies will upset my partner, but I can't help but feel this way when I see them. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but it's gotten to the point where I started utilizing dating apps. I've had some fantastic chats with some amazing women and have been quite successful. I even got to hang out with one of her twice and had a blast. I had more fun with our one-time hookup than I have with my girlfriend over the past 2 weeks. 3 nights ago, I made the decision to confess because I felt bad about it. She was so offended that she started crying. When she asked if I slept with her, I told her no. I told her that I didn't feel anything for her. I responded that it resembled a simple hookup. I told her a falsehood. Even though we weren't seeing each other, I truly cared about the other woman and wanted to see her again. Although she could forgive me, she believed that we should seek relationship counseling. I concurred. Even though I continued to believe that there was no purpose and that we shouldn't go, I was still open to trying to mend our relationship. I decided 2 nights ago that I was not going to keep up our connection. She took it quite hard. She was a distraught mess. She cried, screamed, and yelled. She told me that she gave me 5 years of her life and that all guys are the same. She wanted to chase her, saying it was her fault that she had seduced me. However, I told her it wasn't her fault. In a few weeks, I'll be moving out on my own, so I won't be seeing her as much. To be honest, I feel wonderful and like I'm going to begin a new chapter in my life. Granted, betraying her was a bad decision, but I don't blame you. You were dehumanized by her. Thus, you believe that cheating was the only way to increase one's sense of value, which is incorrect, but happily, you two are divorcing. You should both take a break from dating for a while. You're not prepared for a committed partnership. That brings us to our second story. I filed for divorce and I'm living with regret. My wife is against our moving forward. I, a 36-year-old man, filed for divorce from my 38-year-old wife back in mid-August. I've been battling this for a while, and I can't quite put into words everything that happened to me to cause me to feel this way. But I'd want to give it a shot. I need perspective because this is the most agonizing and perplexing circumstance I've ever been in. After 14 years together, my wife and I have been married for 9.5 years. She has a clever sense of humor, is extremely sharp, gorgeous, and professional. We don't have children, but we do love our 2 dogs, whom she has shared with her amazing family. I work as a software engineer. I've had success and enjoy a variety of hobbies, including snowboarding, cooking, and carpentry. I'm attractive, fit, and have everything under control. I don't love our marriage, even though I love her. This is the issue I'm having. After deciding to move on, I suddenly found myself overcome with regret and questioning if I had made the worst decision of my life. I'm stuck in a limbo, unsure of whether to make an effort to make amends or to stand by my decision and go on. We were both the happiest people alive until we got married. As we approached the 1.5-year mark of our marriage, something changed. It didn't seem big at first, but it grew. To cut a long tale short, there has been a festering issue since she lacks the same spark that I bring to the relationship. The evil is about to arrive. After we've been dating for 1.5 years, she told me that I don't attract her the same way that I do. 2 years later, I learned from a friend that she had an affair. I was caught off guard by this. We chose to go to marriage counseling and, to put it mildly, we worked through it, though, to be honest, I'm not sure whether I ever truly moved past it. But a lot of time has gone by. These days, I don't think about this very much. After the affair, we decided to file for divorce during marital therapy. After coming to my senses, I went home and tried to talk her into giving this one more go. We experienced several ups and downs during the ensuing years. I believe I did everything in my power to help her in a variety of ways. Though I'm not flawless, I believe I gave the marriage everything I had and prioritized her needs, aspirations, and objectives over mine. To be honest, I don't feel that reciprocating. Our marriage suffered after we bought a house about 3 years ago. We were just not communicating, and I was feeling lonely and thinking about moving on once more. We saw a marriage counselor once more and came to the same conclusion: divorce. Once more, I chose not to move forward with that and encouraged her to give it another shot. As expected, things between us improved with time. In late 2019, we tried to become parents. We abruptly returned to our previous routine in January 2020, which left me feeling alone and disoriented. I had another consultation with a divorce attorney in late February, but I had to postpone it as COVID-19 began to spread. I told her that I was thinking about moving on in July because this wasn't working. I pleaded desperately, letting her know that I was going through personal difficulties and that we needed to call Mary to force a conversation in order to keep our marriage intact. Regretfully, not much actually came to pass. I spoke with the divorce attorney once more in August. I filed a petition for divorce after deciding to move forward with it. She was devastated when I told her this. Her expression suggested that her spouse had passed away. My spirit was shook by it. I've felt ambivalent about life ever since the affair. When anything would go wrong, instead of trying to figure out how to fix it, I would question whether I should just end the relationship. This deep-seated ambivalence, which I perhaps introduced into the marriage, has become a third entity and has ruined our chances of genuinely making our marriage work again. Amidst all the suffering, I was relieved that the hesitation had vanished when I disclosed that I had made the decision to have a divorce. I regret ending it since it brought my ambivalent friend back, and now I have to deal with the agony of having to choose. Moreover, she becomes withdrawn. We'll make a terrific relationship, however I believe it is tied to depression. Abruptly, she loses her emotional connection. We become disconnected from one another for days, weeks, or even months at a time. 9 months was the longest tenure. I feel alone at this point because she is simply unavailable to me at this time. However, it returns, and I feel like the luckiest man alive. I'm a member of her incredible family, which is incredible. It's really uncommon, yet her parents are among our closest friends. I'm losing everything by filing for divorce, including my wife, my dogs, my house, my job, and everything I've invested in this relationship over the past 14 years. I'm having trouble because I just made a long list of terrible things that, to an outsider, would seem like plenty to put behind us and move on. Though I'm a romantic at heart, I can't help but feel that this is something worth fighting for, and that I would immediately fix the marriage if I could wave a magic wand. Not only that, but I would be the happiest man alive. My father thinks pragmatistically. He called it like it was: I'm sacrificing my ability to be happy with someone else and raise a family, which is something I really want, if I stay and it doesn't work out. I think a lot of what my dad says makes sense, but I can't help but feel this way about her. She truly is the most amazing, brilliant, and gorgeous person I have ever met. I want to spend the rest of my life with her, yet I'm conflicted about a lot of things. Her lack of the same spark that I bring to the relationship is another issue that I'm not sure how to handle. But I often ask myself, am I fabricating this, __? Is it possible that eliminating the ambivalence via commitment and hard work will solve this issue? She is opposed to our divorcing each other. She wants us to work things out and remain a team. She has no family in the area, and the timing couldn't be worse given the pandemic and other factors. She doesn't have the same network of support that I do to go through this. She's a little adrift. Her parents think divorce is an easy way out. They have told me this many times. They are arguing that persevering through difficult times and not giving up is much more gratifying, and that as a result, we would be stronger as a team in the end. They went through hell and nearly got divorced, but they overcame it and are now among the happiest couples I've ever met. They even act as models for the experiences I hope to have, if I may say so. Her parents, who were close friends until now, have called me names like coward, chicken, __, and son of a bee. I hold them not responsible. In addition to grieving for their daughter, they are devastated by what is happening to her. I'm at a point in my life where I have to take a big risk in one direction or the other. I might be giving up on the most amazing person I've ever met, the one with whom I have established a life, the love of my life. In addition, I might give up on a healthy relationship in the future, one in which my partner would naturally inspire passion for me rather than something we would have to work on. I don't know what to do. I only have one life to live. I think I might be screwing it up. When she told you she wasn't attracted to you, the marriage ought to have ended, let alone an affair. She has never given the marriage the same amount of work that you do. It's you who was burned trying to keep her warm. I'm glad you've made the decision to stand your ground and prioritize your happiness over her. I promise, OP, you will be okay in the long term. I think that's sufficient for now. I apologize. Good Easter all. Yes, I am running late. It's awful. I'm delighted you persisted to the end, though.